And welcome to the neighborhood. Look at that.
Hello, welcome back. It's good to be back. I know that last week I tried to find a lookalike,
Yeah,
but
she
I
looked
got
different.
some feedback that they didn't look like me. I think it was the beard. He hadn't shaved that day, and I usually do shave every morning.
Yeah.
And so I think it was the fact that I forgot to tell him to shave.
I do have to say, Franz.
Inside joke, his name is Francisco.
Francisco.
A.K.A. Paco to his family, A.K.A. Franz.
Franz to us. I'm going to change his name to Franz. I like that name. So you know what? It doesn't matter what he likes. I like the name Franz. So Francisco, if you're there. Yeah, Franz, Paco, Francisco. I need three names. But just in case you're wondering, so who is this lovely, beautiful creature sitting between us today? This is Zoemi Romero. But tell us how you say your name in Spanish.
Like my Spanish name?
Yeah.
Okay, Zoemi.
Zoemi. I love that too.
And I think our theme for the last few guests, including Franz, who's been renamed by you, is that you're like, oh, that's not a name I hear. So instead of me learning it, I'm going to make you introduce yourself as Zoe now to make it easy for everyone else. But I'm changing that for you. I love Zoemi.
Thank you.
Zoemi.
Unless Gina has a different intake. And
no, I love
Zoemi. In a different way.
But I keep hearing everybody just calling you Zoe. So I was like, is it Zoe or is it Zoemi?
Quick question. And I honestly, I don't care if it's Zoe. It makes it easier.
Sure.
Growing up, it was a little bit difficult, especially in Mexico. So it was kind of a traumatic situation where I was like, you know what, whatever rolls your boat, that is okay with me.
Whatever rolls your boat.
So Zoe was fine, but I love Zoemi too.
Zoemi, it's beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. If you went to another country, I wonder what they would call me. Don't say Gina.
Gina. They would though. we all saw that coming.
You did see that one coming.
You know that I will never forget that, right? It is now encrypted in my brain.
Yeah. Like that's the only nickname that I know. You turn Gina into something besides, because I'm not a Regina, I'm not Eugenia, I'm just Gina.
Gina.
Yeah, Gina Marie. But when somebody asks me what name would you like to go by, I always say Lola.
Like
Lola.
At the dentist, you know how they say, like, what's your name, but what's your preferred name? The meaning is like, my name's Jonathan, but I go by John. She's like, my name's Gina, but preferred name, Lola.
Lola.
And she writes Lola.
I write Lola on there, and they will say Lola in the and I'm like, oh,
why Lola?
Because she was a showgirl.
Okay. I mean, that goes in the line with Coco.
Yeah. Oh, see, that would be a great name.
Coco.
Or I just met a woman last week. And her name was Cookie.
How
and
about
I was like,
Kika?
Or Kiki?
Kika.
I mean, we can just go a full hour into your next name.
Yeah, my next name. We need to come up with a new show name for me. Yeah, because Lola is the name that I usually. So even in coffee shops, they'll say, "What's a good name for your cup?" Well, you can make up whatever you want, because what is a good name for a cup? So I always go Lola. So then I have to be paying attention when they're like, Lola, your caramel macchiato is getting cold.
That's cool. There's a Lola here. There's actually a Lola in Ophelia's class. A little 6-year-old Lola running around.
Oh, I love that. Lola. Yeah.
There you go.
I was like, get ready to have everybody tell you were a showgirl.
Yes.
For the rest of your life.
I do have to share a funny story about that song, because a couple years ago, we had our whole, like all my kids. So my oldest son lives in California, and he came out with their 4 kids. And I think Brooke was probably 11 and Daniel was 20, 21 maybe. And this was at 2 a.m. We had all been up all night. And at 2 a.m, I was cleaning the kitchen and I'm just listening to their conversation. And somehow they got on the subject. And I think the song must have been playing.
Yeah.
Barry Manilow's Lola. And Brooke, actually, it wasn't Brooke. It was Charlotte.
I think she was like 14.
Yes. No, younger.
Okay.
Maybe 12 or 13. But she said, I really like this song. I just always picture like she worked at like Chuck E. Cheese or Rainforest Cafe. Yeah, or Rainforest Cafe. She was a showgirl. And that was the showgirl she was picturing. She was a showgirl. And I'm in the kitchen trying to keep a straight face and not let them know I'm listening, but I'm just dying because they were having this deep conversation about Lola, who was a showgirl. And then suddenly in my mind, I'm picturing Lola coming out at Rainforest Cafe.
And it had your face. That's
when I was with my little, Cliff Diver at Casa Bonita. Yeah. Oh, it was so funny, so good. So yeah, Lola was a showgirl, and she worked at Casa Bonita, maybe. So see,
Maybe.
a little more exotic.
Yeah.
So this week in news, I didn't. You know what? It's been a crazy week, and I really don't have a ton of news except for the fact that the one thing that brought the energy drinks, this is where Francisco turned into Franz, was we were sitting in our library here at the village, and I brought in Ghost energy drinks
Oh my.
because I had just heard the news that Dr. Pepper just purchased Ghost energy drink. So Dr. Pepper is a billion-dollar company, and
Okay,
they
wait,
bought.
Is Dr. Pepper just Dr. Pepper?
Yes.
I always thought it
It
was
was like
just Pepsi,
Coca-Cola
Coke. Yeah.
product.
No, it's not a
Pepsi
Coke product. Nope. Nope.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper is its own
Lone
brand.
Wolf, we love it.
Yes, and they're based in Waco, Texas.
Oh,
You
wow.
know that.
Because
Sick
we've
'em
been
bears.
to Sick'em Bears, we've been to the Dr. Pepper Museum or whatever was there. And so Dr. Pepper purchased Ghost Energy. Well, what's interesting, I had never heard of Ghost Energy drinks.
Yeah.
And so we were all feeling a little sluggish sitting in the library the other day doing work. And Francisco, I think it was his fault. Because I think he
would say
said,
otherwise, and so would the other person in the room,
which was you. They said something about we needed an energy drink, and I said I will go make a run for Ghost. Or maybe we were talking about this story. I said Ghost Energy drink is one of these that have the weirdest flavors. It's like Sour Patch Kids.
Yeah.
They have Welch's grape juice flavor.
If you're
Orange
upset
Stickle.
right now, I get it.
Yeah,
I get it. It makes me nauseous just talking about it.
but you know what she really misses?
Oh
She's gonna
god.
leave it. Mark, you know what's funny? I don't have headphones to what you're doing.
Oh,
right now,
you can't
so-
even hear it. She'll have to listen to it later when she's editing. But you don't even do that anymore. But so I went and I said, I'm going to go get a bunch of them. We're going to do a taste test. So the three of us split.
I literally had one sip and then dumped the rest out in the sink.
Oh.
Oh my god.
It was like drinking
Cough syrup.
cough syrup.
Yeah.
I
that
loved it.
It doesn't even make my cough go away. So it was
Ghost Energy right
okay.
here.
But see, here's the thing.
Oh,
Right here.
She came into the room and she literally goes,
Like, what?
immediately I'm like, you don't
Energy
need
drinks?
this.
Yeah, I didn't
And
need
then-
it, but
Francisco drinks it and he goes opposite.
like 30
He's,
minutes
like,
later, he's crashing. He's like,
oh my gosh, I'm so tired.
I need to lay down.
I need to lay down. I'm like, well, something's in there. And then we look over and she's like, so and then I had no sips, and I feel like it could have been one of those drinks where I poured it in a plant and the plant was like and died and just like burnt to a crisp.
Like
So,
acid being added.
Yes, I'm thinking of like Emperor's New Groove, when he pours
Oh.
poison in the plant and it dies, and you're like, that's what Ghost Energy.
Yeah. Well, we were discussing the fact that if you go to a lot of energy drinks, their ingredients are very vague. Ghost Energy is supposedly very transparent, and they tell how much of each ingredient is in that energy
It
drink.
doesn't mean they're good.
It does.
He
I
was like, no.
somehow I
they're
felt like it was
good.
better.
And I'm like reading. There's like 55 ingredients. It's like they're transparent.
It's
but you just
55
can't
good things.
pronounce
It was
them.
I was gonna
55
say,
good things.
Yes,
Yeah.
because Tassaronoma or
Yes,
whatever.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things. I take that every day. Yeah.
Amazing.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So I did have to throw that out that they were purchased by Dr. Pepper. And then we were just like, who's drinking energy drinks? Because there was a guy here who would drink like six a day.
Oh my god.
And we kept waiting to see if his heart was going to give out. Yeah. And so, yeah, Ghost Energy, if you are craving something like Sugar Patch, not Sugar Patch, Sour Patch
Sour
Kids.
Patch.
That's the flavor we had. And I have to say, it was quite delicious.
Halloween time.
Yeah, Halloween time. So
Yeah,
drink
no,
that
we had-
this Halloween.
I watched them consume it and then go opposite directions, and then there was way too much candy, and I was like, I feel a little bit like I'm in a
She was the
trap house
adult.
right now, and I gotta get out of here.
Oh, it was actually really funny. So that was one of the news features. The other thing that kind of took us to this topic today is I get asked a lot about the last year of doing. I feel like I'm really loud. Am I just a little too loud for everybody? Am I louder or louder? I can turn it way down. It's still okay. I'll go right back there. Yeah. I was listening to a podcast and heard the author of the book because where were we when
You were speaking at Colleen Stanley.
that's true. I was speaking at an event and somebody there was talking about the book 10x is easier than 2x. And I've heard that book talked about a lot in the last probably 6 months. I kept thinking, I need to get that book. I need to get that book. I need to listen to that book. And then that day I started talking to a woman about it. And I said, it's kind of what we did over the past year and a half is we didn't just go a little bigger. We went giant. And so I did get the book, and I've about maybe a quarter way through. It's such a great book. It's such a great mindset book of how do we take our future. So we talk about, what do we want to do in 5 years? And then you have to ask yourself, okay, who do I need to be today? What do I have to do today? So this isn't anything new and revolutionary, but what do I need to do today to make sure that in 5 years I'm there? And then why not, kind of like the 12-week year, why not do that thing that you have planned in 5 years? Why not do that in 1 year? Why not work on that now? And how going bigger sometimes is easier because you let go of everything else. We had to stop doing our podcast for a year and a half because we just could not, we couldn't do it.
But it wasn't intentional. Like, I wonder what we would have cut if we had to intentionally.
Yeah, if somebody would have said, take all the list of things you're working on and get rid of things that are hindering you. Yeah, the podcast may have been on the chopping block.
Yeah,
I don't know. That is interesting.
Cut all fun out of our lives.
Cut all fun.
Like, I am putting myself in solitary.
Yeah. Because you kind of have to, like
Yeah.
when you're in the middle of opening a restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get away from everything and everyone.
Yes, there's no
Yeah.
balance in your life.
Yep.
It's totally unbalanced, but that's what it takes sometimes to focus and get it done. So
Yes.
that's what this book is about. I highly recommend it. It's Dr. Benjamin. Did you turn me way down?
I'm so quiet. I don't even know if mine's on.
Wow, yours is all the way. I look over. I was like, wow, I'm really quiet.
So
Oh,
for
you're
those of you
listening.
Wondering why I'm having this moment? I'm listening to it live on Instagram to make sure that
Oh,
this is actually. You can barely hear me.
okay.
You can really hear.
Okay. It's the energy drink. Okay, maybe I'll move it back. Dr. Benjamin Hardy, he has a new book. I think that's out now. And Benjamin Hardy, he has a new book called Rapid Transformation. And so I don't think you're number 4.
Just let it be.
Okay, we'll just turn them all up.
4 is one of those entities that is always around and needs to be around.
It needs to be there.
Well, thank you.
Day of the Dead, people. Day of the Dead.
Yes.
We
Wait,
believe in that.
what is 4? Was that a Day of the Dead thing?
No. Day of the
Oh.
Dead is coming up. So I'm just talking about.
Oh, got it. Okay, just
visits
keep it
and
there.
stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, that is interesting. So anyway, get that book. I highly recommend it. I should have saved it for my favorite things, but I didn't. So we're going to, you know what? My laptop's in the way.
Oh, that's not even the right.
No, it's not.
Let me tell you.
No.
what.
I knew Taylor would get in on this.
I'm gonna sip on my coffee on this one.
For my quiet little microphone over here, which I don't even think is on.
You're like, I hear you.
Not
Does
on.
anybody not hear Taylor? Let's see. I
But-
see a couple comments, but I
Well,
don't
it's-
see
Franz did say Franz is here,
Franz. Do you hear Taylor?
but she said today.
I'm
gonna
gonna-
run this downboard,
yeah,
not you.
not you.
And I, with that level of she's trying to switch right now. She's not.
I love the interaction.
I know.
This is fun.
I'm just letting her flail.
She's
Somebody
letting
said
me.
That you should have let me have more hardship in my life, and I'm doing that to you right now.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I kept saying I want to be in control of the soundboard.
Yeah.
And then look what happens. I did great last week when Franz was here.
I don't think mine's on.
Does Franz? Do you hear Taylor?
Anyone? Oh, she's a little low.
Oh,
They're telling you.
It just sounds like it's coming from one of yours instead of mine.
which is weird. It's all the way up. It's all the way up.
echo.
Such is life.
Yeah,
But
maybe
talk
you have to
me
sit
about your
closer.
clinics, okay?
Yeah. No, I want to have, let's talk about Zoemi.
Well, you started talking about tennis.
Well, because the reason that book really like resonated with me, and then we had met like a year ago, maybe
I think
Through
so.
the chamber.
through the chamber.
Do everything. Like at the chamber, coming to a lot of events here.
It was, I think, yeah.
Maybe I was stalking you.
No, I think you were.
know.
I think you had catered something. I
No,
think.
Yes.
I think she had catered something here, and I was just like,
Yes.
wow, this food is amazing. And it was your Italian food,
Yep.
which I do have to say it's my favorite kind of food. and my husband would argue and say his is Mexican. So the two of us could survive with you.
I'll be more than happy to be your apocalypse supplier.
A good,
You never
good
know.
to
Just keep me alive.
Good to know.
Keep me alive. That's
You are
the only thing.
You are essential business. Yes. Well, I want to know. Tell us how you got into restaurant as a restaurateur.
So, both me and my husband have always been in the restaurant industry. My husband had been there since he was 13. Yes, because child labor is legal in Mexico, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, it's legal here too if you don't tell anybody.
Have 3 kids.
I have 4. So see, I have 4.
Go. We know.
4 laborers.
We know.
Yeah.
But we have always been. So I actually have a degree in hospitality. So I was born and raised in Mexico, always doing that part, and came to the States with a work visa that goes along the line, not necessarily with restaurant, but with hospitality. And as soon as I had the opportunity, I went back into food because food is my love language. I love food. I always joke that as a Mexican, I go around with a Tupperware on my trunk because you never know when you're going to have to give food to somebody.
I love that.
It's like, hey, hold on, I have food.
I have food for
go.
you. Don't kidnap me. Here, have an enchilada.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it is more valuable and it is better for you.
So good.
You never know. So we just, this is where our passion is. And I will always say when people think about opening a restaurant because they think it's an amazing lifestyle and it's so good. And I'm like, no, it's not for the faint of heart.
No.
You do really need to love it in order to be there.
Otherwise, because I wanted to open a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Years ago, I thought, that would be so romantic is to have a restaurant and get to sit with people at their table and say, so tell me about the kids.
Oh my gosh.
That's how I picture it.
See how am I laughing right now?
Yeah, I know.
I still get that because I try to connect with everyone, but there's a fine line where you are either you connect and you mingle and jingle and do all, or you're really there all the time. And people are like, hey, I went to your restaurant and you weren't there. I'm like, I'm sorry.
That's
I needed
a
little
good
bit of
point.
life.
Okay, but you have a hospitality background, which is their degree in hospitality. Have you read the book Unreasonable Hospitality?
It's so funny that you mentioned that because I read it because of my friend Connie Lamb.
We love Connie. Shout out
is like
Connie.
my sister from another mister.
Yeah.
We love each other so much. And I love the book. I just love it, love it, love it. And it just resonates so much with what we are trying to do in a different way.
Right.
So, yes.
I had a feeling. I was like, I can picture that is your heart is serving people and becoming, really intimate with each customer, is really finding out about their loves, their, what they're doing. And I love that about you. So you got into it through your husband. Did you start out with one restaurant? Or did you always want more?
No, so we got our experience through a restaurant chain that it's very big. And
starts with a
C and it ends with a
Otle.
Chipotle.
Starts with a C, ends with a Hotle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, Chipotle.
But we won't even say their name. Yeah.
But we were both working there. We weren't together actually, and he knows this. We didn't like each other.
Really?
At that time. He was very mean. And I have always been really good with people, and he has always been really good with operations. So we were not seeing each other. Eventually, he became a manager. He left. Thank goodness. That was so good for me and my soul. And I became a manager a little bit after. And the way you develop in this restaurant, it was very strict at the time, and it was a lot about people culture. So it was a lot of development. It was a lot of high standards. So we learned a lot. It was the perfect school for both of us. But then we got together. I had my kids, so I kind of like quit the scene because it's super demanding.
Yeah.
You have to be there a lot. And I was like, both of us cannot try to achieve the same goal. We're going to fail. So somebody has to hold the fort. That was me. And I allowed him to go and develop himself. He became a district manager for this company, opened many restaurants, went to other regions, and then E. coli happened for that restaurant. restaurant,
Oh,
which
wow.
was
So
huge.
he survived that.
He survived E. coli, but that's when he decided that it was
Wow.
time to go, because it was very, very, I mean, he has high tolerance in regards of changes and demands
Yeah.
and pressure, but even at his level, that was a lot. He was like, Zoe, I'm going to die if I don't quit.
Yeah.
So legit, we sold everything we had. We cash out 401ks. We cash out our
Wow.
stocks, everything. He put his 2 weeks, a month notice, and then we're like, okay, let's get a food truck. That's the first thing we said. Let's get a food truck. The person that was supposed to sell the food truck to us completely did us wrong.
No.
Yeah, it was, and if you research, that person was, but at the end it was a good thing. You know, the fact that he did it wrong was a good thing, because eventually that led us into
To your own restaurant.
our own restaurant. So long story short, Ralph, who is the original owner of Colonas, was the one that decided to partner with us along with my brother-in-law. And he was like, instead of you guys going and open a food truck, let's all get together, do,
Smart.
between all three of us. And then we opened Colonas back in 2017. So that was the first step.
Okay. So that was the first restaurant you opened.
Mhm.
What made you decide, okay, let's now open another one?
So eventually we found out that, Ralph is more into the retirement stage. We were more into the growing stage. One of the things that we know is this industry is very demanding, so you cannot do it forever. You know, we're like the football players. Like if you get
True.
injured, it gets out.
That's
You
so
don't
true.
get long longevity in this career. So we knew that if we wanted to build some sort of passive, wealth to our kids, it needed to be quick and it needed to be fast. And I think that is still what drives us. Like we know that we don't have
Work
all the
hard
time in the
for-
world
right.
to develop the brand that we want to develop, or yeah. So we're like, we need to do it, and we need to do it now.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's interesting. So you said, okay, let's open another one.
Yes. Well, and it was also kind of, we were intentionally looking for another space for like 2 years right after COVID. And I think COVID really opened our eyes into seeing that we were made for this. We survived COVID. Of course, it was with the help of the community. Everyone was so supportive for us. And that's when we were like, you know what, this is something that we can definitely do on our own. And as I mentioned, we were looking for a space for 2 years.
Was your
literally.
plan to open another Colonas, or did you want to do a different restaurant?
So actually, the name of our company is Bremen, and our goal is to have different concepts under
Okay.
Bremen. So
Cool.
that is where we're trying to go. As of right now, growing San Cali will be more likely, just because of how well accepted the concept is.
Right.
And I'm not gonna say easy, because it's never easy, but it's just a little bit more feasible
Right.
to see it growing at a faster scale
That is
at the
interesting.
moment. Yeah.
That's cool. I was going to say 2 restaurants is a lot of
Yeah.
work, and a lot of holidays and weekends.
Yes, but you also have to utilize your staff. And I think that, once again, going back to that experience being built where people culture was so engraved on us, that I think is what has allowed us to continue to expand our dreams of going faster than the norm might be for
Okay.
this market. We truly believe in growing within. We believe in forming your pipeline and making sure that your staff is committed and they feel that it's their own company. And something that we do very different is we offer this idea for our staff members, especially our GMs, that eventually we would love to partner up with them.
Yeah.
So
They
that
have ownership.
the next step, it's with them along. They know how we work, then they know what we're looking for, and it's easier to continue to grow, and you impact more than just one life,
Right.
as if you do it by yourself.
Which is really great.
Yeah.
I'm curious, when you got out of college and you have this hospitality degree, did you think, okay, someday I want to own my own business? Or did you think I'm going to work for a hotel? Or what did you think you were going to do with that degree?
So coming from Mexico, I think the idea or dream of being an entrepreneur is very far away.
Yeah.
I think we have the idea of go to college, find a good job, and be successful in that job, like become a manager, continue to grow. But because it is difficult to be a business owner there, you see it super far, and sometimes you don't even see it.
Right.
And that was
it's
my
impossible.
case.
Right.
That was my case. I don't think I ever saw myself there having a business. Now, when I moved to the States and you start seeing all the opportunities, all the possibilities, all the things, I have always say that this is a reason why America is the land where everybody wants to move.
Right.
Because the opportunities are there.
Right.
It is up to you to grab them, hold them, and run with them.
I believe most people in our country, they take it for granted, or they don't even know how good, like, we take it for granted, and other people come to this country and they do better because they see the opportunities everywhere.
Yeah, and it's so easy. Like in Mexico, if you think about it, it's not just the government side, it's not just the taxes and the complicity, it's the whole social aspect,
right?
Where you're seeing like a lot more stuff that I'm not gonna talk,
right,
that you don't even feel safe opening
That's
a business.
Interesting. Yeah.
So at that point, you're like, okay, well, you go into my little hope in a way.
Yeah, this is like my faraway dream. Yeah.
And then when you come here, your eyes are like, holy, like, I didn't know. Why is not everybody doing this?
Right.
It is not easy. I am going to say that. But
what is easy? Yeah, what
know?
Everything is hard. No matter what you do, is there's work involved. So it's like, okay, to have that dream or that thing you want to go after that seems so impossible, so far away, but then to say, I'm going to work hard no matter what.
Yep.
Why not?
And I think I remember this coming from a friend, is like, you pick your heart.
Yeah.
Everything is always going to be hard. Which one are you picking?
That's
Are you picking just working hard for somebody, or are you picking working hard for yourself?
Right.
Are you picking long hours and no holidays, or are you picking maybe struggling in some areas and not having all your dreams come true?
Right.
There's always a hard portion. Which one are you going to pick? And that's the difference.
And I know you're super busy, but have you had the chance to sit back yet and say, you're still so young. Like, what is my next, what is my next big thing?
Yeah. I think that dreams develop as we continue to grow, right? Whatever we thought that we wanted to do 2 years ago is definitely not the same that we want to do today. I have found myself that the philanthropic side of me, it's very much in need of fulfilling that side. So a lot of the things that I'm now doing along with my business go along that line. And I never thought about it.
That is interesting.
I never thought that was something that I wanted to pursue. I mean, it goes along the line with hospitality, because you're always trying to give,
serve, and
serve, and that's how you fulfill your heart. But it was not until I started going more in the community and seeing, like, understanding the days, even they were long, but I got the more fulfilling was when I was serving. And it was not just the food, it was when I was serving for a purpose.
Oh, that's cool.
So I think that if you talk about me as a persona, the philanthropic side has to be part of it moving forward. And in regards of us as a couple, I feel that it is a beautiful thing that we can incorporate together, where he has his fulfillment and I have mine at the same time.
Right. And have you made him nicer?
As a person, I think, you know what? Honestly, I think he has made me a better person in that area. And I know that I don't give him enough praise. I'm a very crazy person.
That's why
we like you so much.
Thank you. But I don't always come across that way for everyone. And he's a person that he's like, just let it go. I'm like, how can I let it go?
Yeah, the passion.
Just let it go. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that has made me a more mature person, a better mom, a better boss, a better friend, because now I have the ability, I work hard on this, but try to be like, okay, this I keep, this I let go. So
I think age does that to us.
So it started out at Chipotle. I mean, starts the C.
C ends with a whole day.
Him being mean and for your soul, it was good for him to leave.
It was good.
And now he's circled back, and you're a better person.
Yeah.
At the end
and
of
so is he. I just
so is he.
Yeah. No, and I think both of us were like, well, I guess you weren't that bad after all. We fought what we needed to fight. We can get along
Oh,
now.
when we're young and everything is so critical and important and bothers us so much, and then you get older, like I don't even care. That's why your youngest children, the youngest child gets away with so much because when the oldest ones are little,
I did not.
no,
I got away with more.
you got away with a lot more than Danny and Jacob did.
Yeah.
And the oldest ones will always say, it's so unfair because like when parents are young, you just freak out about everything. You're upset about everything. You're striving so hard. You're trying to do so much. And then by the time the younger ones come, you're just tired. You're just like, whatever, do whatever you need. You want the car, you're only 12, go drive. I don't even care.
Breathing, you're
you're
good.
breathing. I need you to
Let's
just
move
go.
on.
Yeah, go pick up your sister and take her to school.
Like, I'm 9.
I'm 9.
Oh,
It doesn't matter. You can reach the pedals.
You're like, if you're using a computer, you can drive.
Exactly. I can't wait for driverless cars because you know what? Then you can tell your 9-year-old, go to the store,
Go get some butter.
go get some food for us. Go to Calonas, go pick up
Please,
some food.
bring me a pizza.
Yeah, go bring me a pizza. So I do think as we get older, we chill a little more. Our kids survive. I wonder if there's a study. Are the youngest children's survival rate better?
Oh wow.
Or
I
their
will be curious
stress
about that.
levels,
But
Are you the oldest?
I am the oldest.
Me too.
I am the oldest, so I'm like
That
the
is
rule
interesting.
follower. Like things have to be, I'm very honest, and if there's dishonesty, I have a bad time having and dealing with that. I'm like fair before anything
interesting.
else. And
Yeah.
that's why, I mean, my husband, there was 15 of them.
Oh my gosh.
15.
15. There's still 13. So he's somewhere in the middle. So see, when he says let
Bless
it go,
that
it's
mother.
because eventually,
Yeah.
He was like, there was no argument.
There was
with
no
15 of us.
15.
or if
Like,
there was,
yeah.
there was.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm more like, no.
How many siblings?
So I'm the oldest, and there's 3 of us.
Okay.
So
You had a smaller crew to manage.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I'm the oldest. Then my brother was 7 years apart from me, and then the other Raul was 10 years apart from me.
Oh, so each of you were like only children.
And I actually grew up with my grandparents.
Yeah.
So I grew up in a very different scenario.
Yeah.
I always say that I was like a little adult.
Yes.
I grew up that way. Like, no, you sit properly and you talk
Right.
well.
And you use your manners and you, Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Versus 13.
Yep. Crazy. So
Wow.
you became a father of like
Which we
your
always
brother
say,
and
the
your
older
brother.
ones just raise the little ones,
Yeah.
which is why you can continue having kids. If you have that many, it's like just the older ones.
you
Here,
stop?
you go. I know I should have kept having.
Yeah.
Had I known, I would have had more opportunity to have like kids work with
We're
me.
talking about 10x, Gina.
Yeah,
So-
10x.
You
10
had 40
children.
kids. 40 kids.
10 children is
10x.
easier than 2 children, which, you know what? There's probably some truth to that
Yes.
because the parents don't even really have to be there anymore.
No.
It could just be just
Them.
gone they're in Cabo.
The kids
The
are
kids
cats
are
at
raising
this
themselves.
point.
They're
Okay?
just feral.
The kids are cats.
Yeah.
They're just
yeah.
feral
Put 'em in the
cats.
litter box and have a good time. Out. Get out.
Litter box.
Wow, that is
There.
amazing. You are amazing.
Thank
I
you.
love getting to know you. And tell us, so tell us where both restaurants are and
Yeah.
how we can get a hold of you and your
Thank
good
you.
food.
Well, to get a hold of me, you have to catch me. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, she's always on the run. She's probably at a chamber event. Is where I
One of those things,
Yeah.
either that or a networking event. So Colonas is located in Centennial. We're right in the DTC area. 7475 is Arapahoe Road.
Yes.
We've been there
Really,
Yeah,
like,
literally
right
5
down
minutes.
there.
Yeah, 5 minutes from here.
Ish, right?
1 block down.
One
Yeah.
block down. Okay.
1 block down. And then San Cali is located in downtown Littleton, right on Main
yeah,
Street.
Old Town Littleton.
Old
yeah,
Town Littleton.
which I love that
Yeah.
area.
Downtown, Old Town,
Downtown, Old Town.
Yeah, love.
Yep.
I don't know what it's called. I call it Old Town Littleton, but I think it is. Is it
Downtown.
just downtown?
I mean, it can be either or.
Yeah,
It is old and it's downtown.
old downtown Littleton.
Old downtown.
It's
Littleton.
old downtown Littleton. Yeah. So if you're in Old Town, downtown Littleton, go visit. And then where would we find you online?
Sure.
Like if we want to connect with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. San Cali Taqueria, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Colonas Pizza and Pasta, Instagram,
Oh.
Facebook, TikTok.
Like who keeps up all that social media?
yeah.
Do you do it?
I have a little bit of help. I actually, for Colonas, we do a lot ourselves, but for San Cali, just because it is very much much more fast paced. We do have a little company that help us with a lot of the things.
Which is good because it's
That's
so much work.
good.
It is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot of work. I mean, at the beginning, my husband is like, "You can manage it." I'm like, "For sure."
Sure, just post
Just
it.
post it.
Until like
picture.
2 months later, and I have no post. I was like, "Nope, I give up. I can't do this all the time."
Yeah.
I mean, that is
You
our
wouldn't-
background, and it's
Yeah,
so you would
wouldn't
never know
we
that
did
was our
if it
background.
wasn't our Instagram.
No,
You just
it's
wouldn't know.
shameful.
But
Shameful.
that's something that got on the chopping block.
That did
because
get on the chopping
We
block.
want it to be active, but also I'm like, we realized it's not where people are finding us either.
I
But
mean, business like yours and ours, your Google profile. If you have a brick and mortar business, you better pay attention to
Yeah.
your Google profile.
yeah,
You should be asking for reviews all the time. You should be posting pictures all the time,
Pictures.
doing a post. I mean, most people don't even think of Google as a place to put a post. You should be once a week posting something on Google. Same thing that you do on social media. Put it
Yeah.
on Google
Yep.
because restaurants get lots of pictures. Everybody wants to take pictures of their food, which sometimes as a restaurant
You don't
owner,
want it.
you don't want
You're like,
those ugly pictures
Oh,
people
gross! You waited
post.
until you were halfway
Yes.
through.
It's like, and if you are a person going to a restaurant, take the picture before you take a bite and make it nasty looking. Like, take a picture when it still looks beautiful on the plate, then post that one.
I mean, to be fair,
That-
they don't know that they're gonna like it yet
Well,
until
it's,
they taste it.
but you could take
And
the
then they're like,
picture,
this changed my life.
take the
Click.
picture, and then taste it. Don't post it until after, but at least you have a picture of it looking nice on your plate. It's like sometimes people post a picture, I'm like, what?
I really don't want to eat there.
And and then so
But
I'm
then-
going to look at pictures. I'm like, oh, all these pictures of So
That's why
restaurants,
you have to post.
you have to post a lot of pictures. Yeah.
And I think this is a good reminder that as friends, small business owners, there's so much that we can do for each other.
True.
Not necessarily the buy and purchase. Of course, that is kind of like the cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah.
But even the sharing, even
Sharing the social,
interaction,
Inviting you
the
onto the podcast.
I mean, perfect. Thank you. But there's so many things that
Yeah.
we can do to help each other out and boost
Yeah.
ourselves on those and
It's
that
true.
monster of social
Of
media.
social media.
Because at the end of the day, I think we're all on this.
You
Like
know what?
we all hate social media.
Everybody
Ugh.
today, go out and give some love to one of your local businesses on
Yeah,
Google.
just go
Write a
write
Google review. Every week I try to sit down and go, where have I been this week?
Yes.
I need to write another review. And just to make
It's
sure
not
that
easy.
unless they were not so good, then
Then it's better not to say anything.
yeah, no, I've
Sometimes.
posted a couple.
Ugh.
Not many, but this was delightful. Now,
you.
our last part of our show is always about our favorite things. Like, do you have a favorite book or podcast or show or something that you love?
Okay, so I'm actually gonna tap into self-care. And I was
Ooh,
just
love it.
mentioning because with 2 restaurants, with my kids, with my busy life, I neglected myself so much for so long. So self-care for me, it's more about since I'm always serving,
Yeah.
somebody taking care of me.
Love.
So big one. My facials lately.
Ooh, your
It
skin
seems-
looks amazing.
It
It
does
seems
look
mean that
amazing.
I said this
No.
and
Oh.
vanish, but it's been life altering and changing.
Really?
And I actually told her not too long ago because she was like, Zoe, do you want to try laser treatment? And I was like, yes, I'm all about trying stuff.
Yeah.
And that stuff hurt.
Wait,
Ooh.
laser did?
Like laser, like it,
Oh.
it
Yeah,
just
there's laser
burns.
facials now.
Kind of
Oh,
like
see, I
that.
haven't-
Yeah.
I haven't done
So I
that.
was like, I love you, but this is my me time, my relax time, and I'm coming here to
And
like
you're torturing me.
I was like, I'm sorry. So that has been very helpful for me. Just lately, just it makes me relax. It makes me have like an hour for
Nice.
myself where I don't have to worry about anything else. I actually can answer the phone, which normally doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So that one, I'll
Okay,
say
give a
it's been
shout
my
out.
big
Where
one.
do you go to get facials?
Rachel, she's amazing. At Purity, and sorry about the accent.
Purity. No, that makes sense.
Did I say it
heard-
right?
Yeah, you said it
Okay,
right.
perfect. They're in Highlands Ranch. She is absolutely amazing.
Rachel, shout out. I
She's
actually
awesome.
was it just last week? I went and
Yeah.
got a facial from Alexa Ochoa here,
Yeah.
LexaRobin.com. And she has a studio here at the Village Workspace. And I was like, I've never had the dermaplane
Oh, that's
where they
yeah.
shave I mean, pretty much men do this every
I
day,
know.
but
And then we call it dermaplaning.
we call it dermaplane. My husband
have
calls
to go
it morning shaving. Yeah. It's just it's basically they shave with a straight edge razor. But you know what's funny? I'm laying there and I could see like big chunks of fur falling from my face.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh.
You
I
don't
mean, it
realize
takes dead
there's
skin
hair until
until
it's
it's
coming
coming off. Now I'm kind of worried. Do I have a 5 o'clock shadow?
yeah, I think you need to
5
go back.
o'clock shadow. I love that.
I do shave every day now. But it was such a relaxing facial. And I was laying on a warm table and she put this heavy blanket, the weighted
It was
blanket
the
on me.
experience.
Oh, I'm all about the
So
experience.
see, once again, I couldn't do the laser.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I need
Oh,
relax.
I need relaxing.
I need
Yeah.
relax.
This
That's
was
all I
very
need.
relaxing. So Alexa, I'll be seeing you again. And it's right down the hall. So
Yeah,
super
it's
easy.
easy.
Yeah. How about you? Favorite thing?
My favorite thing has been using the new Gemini feature on Gmail to
Really?
summarize and write responses to long emails that I don't want to
What?
That
Yeah.
is an amazing
Really?
feature.
read. It's in my new.
You
favorite
are
thing.
the email queen.
I'm the email queen.
Like
I
inbox zero.
I empty my inbox and there's like 4 of them every single day. By the end of the day, even if it kills me.
I wish I could do it.
And
Don't pick up my phone.
I know
well,
mine. She
you know,
sees
it's
mine.
different personalities. Like you're out there, you're the visionary. You're like email, shmemail, and then every now and then you're like, if it's more than like 2 months old, she doesn't even read it. She just deletes it. And she's like, they'll reach back out if they really need me. I'm like,
True that.
that's
It's
terrifying.
Yeah.
To me, but I'm every day. So sometimes people send me long emails that are like, what if we do this idea? And what if we do this?
You're
And
like, it
what's
takes
my
me
question
3
here?"
weeks to read it.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, and I get overwhelmed and go out. But then at the end of the day, I'm like, it's just sitting there staring at me unanswered. And now Gemini will be like, do you want to summarize this email? I'm like, absolutely, I do.
Thank you, Gemini.
So I click summarize and it gives me, and it does a really
Just
short
bullet
one,
points.
and like 5 bullet points. It'll be like, Gina asked if Tuesday at 1 o'clock
wow.
works, and then Gina said, well, what if we do this? And then sometimes I'll say like expand a little more, and it'll give me like 4 more bullet points. And then I'm like, write a summary for me, write a response. And then in that response, then I go in and add certain things like what room they're going to be in. Because here's the thing, if there's something I missed from their email that they really need to know, they'll ask me again.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you send me 5 paragraphs,
Oh.
I'm not.
You know what I'm going to start saying when they send me the long one? I'm just going to reply saying, "Can you send me an audio version?"
Oh, but even that, then you're going to take.
Well,
notes
that's
while
true.
you're
You'll be like,
listening.
do you know about Gemini?
Does this
Yeah, I
come?
know.
Does this
On the
come on
back.
Audible? Can I listen to it as I drive
No.
to work? Because
So
please
I
stop.
can't. It's been
Stop with
life-changing.
it. There's a
know
guy that we got an email from this
Oh
week.
yes, where it literally needs to be like
Was
summarized. to
so
Gina.
many paragraphs.
Yeah. Oh my
I said
God.
I'll have to wait until the weekend so I can read it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't even read it. It's so long.
It's so
And I was like,
No.
I don't even have time to meet, let alone read a book about your email
Yeah.
request. Stop it,
no.
people.
And
Stop.
I know I'm late
Right
to the
in-
ChatGPT game, but all of a sudden AI.
Wow.
I think I was averse to ChatGPT because it was like to write social posts for like
Yeah, you don't
content, and
want-
I was like,
No,
this is
you
like,
want it
you
real.
spend more time
Delightful.
Finessing.
finessing
Yeah.
Yes.
You like make it more fun, make it a little less fun, make it serious, not that serious. And it's like, oh my gosh, I need 1 sentence. Why am I doing this?
Oh,
And so now I'll say like, write me a nice email telling someone that they no longer
Yeah.
get to use my space for free.
Yeah.
And then it sends me this whole thing, and then I'm like, make it a little nicer or make it a little more firm. And then I'm like, copy, send, and then I add my things in there. But it's like
I love that.
it's game changer.
That's game
Well, and
changer.
it is supposed to learn
Yeah.
from you, right?
Yeah.
And
So
it
if you have a
develops.
profile,
It
yeah.
develops as
So
you use it the most. You use
Honestly,
it. Yeah.
summarize your emails, people.
Summarize.
Summarize them.
I literally, when somebody asks me, should I email you? I always say, do you want a response? Because
Let me ask you first.
yeah, let me ask you, do you need a response?
Yeah.
Then don't email me.
Betsy said, amazing to one. Franz said, ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No.
No, we don't have time to be reading books for email. No.
No.
Stop. And I do have to say, my favorite right now is the 10x is great, and I'm kind of
Yeah.
afraid to
need
get
to
further
read it.
into it. It's so good.
I like the concept
Yes.
of like, what is the thing that if you had to 10x or like, what would you be doing? So do it
Mhm.
now. Like the way you said, what do you have to do to be the person you want to be? Like, what do you have to do
Yes.
today? I love that. That's
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Have you thought about it?
I have.
Because I asked you a few days ago and you're like, I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
She
I'm
was
kind
at
of
the beginning
afraid.
of the
I
book.
was at the beginning of the book.
Yeah,
I'm
you
kind
are.
of afraid. I'm
Come on.
afraid to think of like what is the next bigger thing. But to me, it could be that my next bigger thing is doing less.
Oh,
my
wow.
gosh, it's the first
Oh, wow.
time. Well, it's not the first time I've heard it. It's the
Stop,
first time it
stop.
feels real.
I didn't say it's going to happen. I just said that could be.
Could be.
It could be.
And,
could
and,
be.
and on top of that, it was 5 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Like in the next 5 years, in the next year, in 2025, I want to work less. I want to retire and come in at 10. And I've been saying this for a
Her
year.
retirement hours are 10 to 4.
Yes.
That's
wanna-
that's a normal work
that's
day.
your retirement.
That's my
hours.
retirement hours. I want to come in at 10. I want to leave
But
at
it's
4.
what you
And I
only,
want to
like,
socialize in those hours.
It's what you do when you're here.
Yeah.
too.
I want to go to meet new people at the
Yeah.
chamber and at different events. I mean, this morning we had a chamber event at 9:00. That was great. Talia was here talking about marketing. She was great. So I had that. And then after that, we had Taylor and I had to be art docents.
Yeah.
We were taking a girls' school that came in for a tour of all the art in here with Freedom 58. And so we were doing a tour. And then we had 2 amazing, I was going to say they were police sheriff investigators for Arapahoe County Sheriff's Department, which was frightening to think of when they talked about their caseload that
That's crazy.
that they're working on about 30 cases, and they're just Arapahoe County detectives. And they talked about online predators. People, if your kids are on Discord,
Get them out.
alert.
I said
That's
it's
the number one
highest
place.
Predator
Site.
like,
Not
interaction,
Snapchat,
yeah.
not Instagram.
Although if your kids have Snapchat, make sure they're not sharing their location. That's another.
That was
one.
another big one.
Disable location.
Disable location, because when you take a picture, it tells you exactly where that location is, and people know how to find that. And they were talking about how dangerous that is. But that kids on Discord are getting into trouble more on Discord than any other social site. So anyway, we had that, and so this morning was just pack. I'm like, I want days that are just a little slower.
Yeah,
that's my goal.
That's your goal.
Yeah,
and
so
the book
10x
is interesting because it's like sometimes you have to pay more money to go bigger because you have to pay an employee so that you do less.
Right.
Or sometimes you have to like
invest more.
Whether it's like, okay, I'm going to take time to take this course because I want to get certified in this and I want to be able to do this. So it's like it takes more to do less for you, but it's worth it if you want to do less.
Yeah. But you know what? He has another book coming out called Rapid Transformation. So that may just throw everything out the window, and I may just go,
you never know.
What? Franz!
Lola's out.
With that is our show, ladies.
That is our show. And
That
you know
is our
what? I
show.
don't think my microphone worked the
It did.
entire time.
I hear her.
I was doing these, and it's all that to say. That's why I'm so sorry. Your left ear is going to be a little ringing after this tinnitus.
Okay.
Because I've just been projecting really loudly into her left.
I have an 8-year-old and 11-year-old. This is actually nothing at this moment.
Yeah.
Well, I'll
And
go
thanks
listen
to
to it.
restaurant
And I have a
industry,
restaurant.
Yeah,
walking in
you're
and-
used to the loud
Chef.
noises.
Oh, I should have called you that this whole time.
Chef.
Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
Or ratatouille.
Yeah,
I mean, I can go either or.
Are you
That
going to
is
do
your
that for
favorite?
Halloween? You should.
Well, I'm going to say before we leave,
Okay.
I chop my hair and my kids is like, you look like Dora the Explorer.
Oh, but that's
So-
such a compliment.
No, it was not. They don't like it. They don't watch it. So it was not a compliment, and I didn't take it as
What
one.
is it?
We've all been there. I was Lord Farquaad for a period of my life.
So I
short
guess
bangs, short dark hair.
I have to be Dora. I
Oh my
have
gosh,
to
Dora.
come with a monkey and a backpack. So
You're like, I'm taking my pain and I'm turning it into a triumph.
Which,
I'm being Dora.
which
Why not?
speaking of, if you are out here in the Denver, South Denver area on Thursday, come to the village
We
because
have a dog
dog costume parade at 11:30.
We have
Lots
scavenger
of
hunts for kids.
trick-or-treating.
Good food.
You know what? I'm going to be giving out
Ghost
ghost energy
energy.
drinks.
then like coming out of like the haunted hallway.
I'll have ghost
There's
energy
gonna be, like,
drinks
the
for you.
mad scientist. There's going to be like electricity coming out of her.
One for everybody. Oh, well, with that, okay, everybody, we'll see you next week at the neighborhood.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.